Welcome, everyone. And this is Rick Alberty. I'm the Executive Director of ChamberSouth. And today we are filming another episode of ChamberSouth Spotlight. Thank you all for being here. Today I have the honor of being able to speak with Ana and Bill Blanco from PSM Facilities. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good morning. Good morning. So, before we get into PSM Facilities, tell us about Ana and Bill before PSM Facilities.
Well, long-time Miami-Dade residents, been here for forever, worked in different businesses and managing other companies, a lot of development, business development and management and training.
Okay.
And, kind of led us up to and got us ready for the venture that we started a little over 20 years ago now.
Wow. And Ana, how about yourself?
I've been here for 20 years already, 21, 22 years. So I came from Venezuela.
Came from Venezuela.
Looking for, obviously, better opportunities.
Okay.
Want to open my own business, and, here we are.
And Bill, are you also from Venezuela in the past?
No. My parents are Cuban, and I am a Cuban-American and lived here all my life.
So you were not born in Cuba?
I was born in Cuba.
You were?
I came when I was a small child.
Okay, good. So did I. Yeah, I arrived here when I was 1.5 years old from Cuba. Yeah, so we've been here for a long, long time. So tell me, how did Ana and Bill become Ana and Bill?
We met through where we worked, and we had a coworker introduce us, and the chemistry was right from the first day, and as they say, the rest is history. So we've been married now for over 20 years, and
Congratulations.
we started the company about the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We
work and live together.
Yeah, and we work and we live together, and are still happily married and not divorced or killed each other.
You know what? I mean, I'm glad you said that, because it's not easy to work and live together.
Right.
Because you see yourself at work, you see yourself at home, and you never get that little space of your own time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you feel can still work? Because there's a lot of young kids out there that don't think it will ever work.
It's difficult. I mean, I think that we've been fortunate to strike a balance in that work is work and home is home. And every once in a while, the work will overflow into the house. That's kind of normal. But I think that balance is probably the best way to explain it. We don't always agree on a work strategy. We talk it out. Mm-hmm. We talk it with the team that we work with, and we figure out which is the best way forward. And at home, that's home life. That's us and the dog, and we go from there.
We have our ups and downs, but we don't let work go home with us.
That's
every
excellent.
day.
It's like they say, life balance. It's also important to have life separation.
Exactly.
Separation from work, even though it does overflow many times, because I take work home almost every day.
Right.
But, you got to spend time also with the family.
The family.
And make sure that things are good there.
Sure.
Because you need to kind of forget about work sometimes and make sure that stays home. So you guys worked in, I'm going to assume that you did not work in facility management all your life.
No. My background is in accounting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I worked for a flooring company as an accounting manager for several years before I started with PSM.
So you check his numbers every day.
Every day. Every day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
She knows where all the money is going, and she knows if I happen to go on Amazon, she's got me pegged. I worked for a lot of different businesses,
okay,
and in a lot of different fields, and as a consultant helping other businesses grow. So business management and development and training has kind of been my background in business to do that. I've been fortunate to be able to do it for a lot of companies and be around the United States and have a lot of different experiences. So when we started this company, we said, let's do a service company, and what can we do? And both of our experiences kind of showed that there was a need for something that had a little bit more than just somebody come in and robotically clean an office or robotically fix what was wrong. So we started something that was very customer service centric and involved employee engagement. And I think one of the first things we discussed about was that we wanted employees to have a safe and welcoming and respectful place to work. We wanted to make sure they had benefits and a salary that was livable, not necessarily conforming to the minimum wage that was usually attributed to the industry.
Correct.
So why PSM Facilities? Why did you want to decide on this kind of firm?
Well, I think there was a need for that. And with 150 employees, I think that our hunch was well founded. We've grown. We're servicing the entire state of Florida now. We have operations in Atlanta and in Dallas, Texas. So what started out as, well, let's see what niche we could find that was going to be workable and that needed some of the energy and some of the vision that we brought to it. And it turned out to be the right niche, and it turned out to be the right thing. So, after all, it was the right direction to go when we explored it.
We started as a janitorial company, and then the clients start asking us, can you repair this? Can you find someone to do this type of service for me? And then we started adding the services as we go.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you started as a janitorial company.
Exactly.
And then you added on as you went, and you kept growing.
Correct.
Now, do you service only Dade County and Broward County?
Nope.
No.
We go through from Homestead to Tallahassee all the way.
So you cover the entire state of
state.
Florida.
A lot of miles on that car.
Including West Coast, Naples, Fort Myers, yes.
So you even do the West Coast here.
Correct. Yes.
Now, are the employees your own employees, or are they, what do you call them, a workforce that is only temporary?
You know, that's probably the most timely question that a lot of people are asking these days. Everyone that works for our company is a W-2 employee. Everyone goes through the E-Verify system. Everybody has workman's compensation. Everybody has general liability insurance. Everybody has auto insurance to protect our clients and our customers from any eventuality. So we've managed to become a risk-free company for a client to hire. And the reason for that is because Florida's got one of the strictest workers' compensation law. It's a vertical law. It's very strict. It holds whoever the top food chain client responsible for any injuries that may happen to a worker.
Okay.
So we avoid that whole risk. We eliminate any possibility that any claim can be made against our clients by having robust insurance and having our own employees rather than an independent contractor or a franchise or a franchisee. We're a wholly owned company. We're the owners. We operate and work on it every day. And everyone is a PSM employee.
And tell me, what services do you guys offer? Cleaning,
We offer
handyman work?
commercial janitorial services or commercial cleaning
Okay.
services.
All right.
We offer handyman services,
Okay.
facility services for commercial properties. We work with industrial, retail, medical, offices.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
So it doesn't matter what type of industry it is. You can cover it all.
correct.
It does not. We've had the benefit of working for the state of Florida. We're registered with the U.S. government as vendors. We're vetted by Miami-Dade. We're certified DBE and SDE woman-owned company. And we've got educational facilities, medical facilities, dental facilities, industrial office buildings, and retail that we've done work for. We've worked for religious organizations. And I think that part of the ability for us to do that is that we're basically a very nimble and flexible company. So right now we've had a lot of interest from residential
So
that want us to do some of the handyman work simply because we're insured, simply because our people are in uniform. They show up in a company car. You're not calling someone that's not vetted and that's unknown to the industry. We've been at this for 20 years. I think that we're, fairly well known in the circles that we serve. And now we're kind of extending that a little bit and inviting other clients to come and experience the PSM difference.
that's awesome.
And not only that, our employees are also uniformed, trained, and supervised. So we're not sending anyone that is not going to be in uniform, that is going to be going through a training process of what they need to do in the different locations, and also supervised by our area manager.
That's so important nowadays, because the person now, the small business or the homeowner, sees a person that is coming with your uniform, your employee, your W-2, it's already been vetted. That's so important in today's world, not only because of the liability factor, but because of the trust factor.
Correct.
Correct.
And one of the things that we've done that we've gone a little bit above and beyond some other company is all our employees have a geofenced application on their phones. So we know where they're at. We know the time that they clock in. We know the time they clock out. That affords them the ability to make sure that their payroll is going to be correct, and that affords us and our clients the security that we know when our person was there and when our person was not there.
Correct.
So it's kind of a
Such a
little
good
added feature that lends a lot of peace of mind.
That's a great point, especially for safety purposes.
Correct.
Correct.
Just a little story on, my mom. My mom is already elderly. She's already 91 years old.
God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her is right. But, we had to put someone in a home to help her.
Sure.
And you don't know who you put in your home sometimes.
Exactly.
One person, which we don't know who, took most of her jewelry.
No.
Wow.
So, by you being able to track your employees and everything else, you know exactly when that employee was there, when they left.
Exactly.
And it's great for their payroll too, because there it eliminates all the questions that they may
about
have.
their hours.
And
Correct.
it's curious that you mentioned that, because I had a similar experience when we had to have healthcare workers for my mother, and we went through the same thing where a lot of things were missing and stuff. So that's one of the things that we want to do, is we want to make sure that our employees are screened. We have a background process, and I think that's allowed us to be very well received in a lot of the clients. Our employees are all HIPAA trained, so any healthcare or any medical situations, they know that there's protected health information that they are not allowed to disclose. Everything is signed, everything's on paper, everything's very clear, very, very plain language.
How difficult is it to find good employees now?
Oh,
Every day is a challenge, but you find them. We're able to find them. We have employees that have been with us for several years.
Sure.
Even janitors, cleaners that do the work, they've been with us for 4 or 5 years.
So I think that one of the key things that have helped us in particular is that we don't pay minimum wage. All our employees have a wage that is above minimum wage. Number two is everyone gets paid vacations when they work for our company, no matter if you're a part-timer or a full-time employee. We offer a 401k that the company matches and contributes to.
That's
We have an
fantastic.
employee assistance program. We have employee discount programs. And we're very respectful to our employees. We understand that they're the front lines. They're what make us possible, and they're what provide the service to the clients. So I think that respect and understanding the employee's position in the company and the employee's work is what has created an atmosphere where they come to us and they like to remain in our employ, and they find that the atmosphere is a lot more
Welcoming.
pleasant and welcoming, exactly, for them as an employee.
All those things you mentioned are so important for the retention of the employee.
And consistent work. And,
Lord.
And being able to, where the industry has a turnover of maybe 600%, I don't think we reach 70.
That's incredible. Congratulations to both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell me about the trajectory of PSM Facilities. What are you guys looking for in the future? Because you already cover the whole state. You cover from here to Tallahassee. You cover up to the West Coast. What's next?
We've been fortunate to have clients call us where we have actually served from Oregon to South Florida for one client. And I think that the flexibility and the nimbleness that we have is supported by the structure that we've built, where we are able to exponentially expand our services and serve clients in different areas with different services. As we look for our trajectory now, I think that we're in a growth mode. We're accepting new clients. We're being able to offer these clients the stability and the peace of mind of the type of service that they're not going to have to worry about any compliant issues with laws and workmen's compensation and
Immigration.
which is the elephant in the
forefront now.
the elephant in the room right now. So we've got a system in place where everyone is vetted and everyone is sure. We use the government's E-Verify system, so there's no failure from that end. We're audited, so it's compliant. And I think that has made us ready to grow more and to give us the ability to serve clients in other areas and in other fields. So I think that we're going to continue growing in the state. We're looking to
Expand locally.
expand a
and
little bit.
Still going out of our neighborhood.
A very self-serving statement here is we are looking and perhaps at acquiring smaller companies that they don't want the whole back office and administrative headaches and the taxes and whatever. So we can actually absorb an operation. So we're very well positioned now to maybe make acquisitions of some smaller companies
That's
that
awesome.
want to
That's awesome.
be more successful without a lot of the baggage that comes along with it.
You know, a lot of people have no idea how difficult it is to run a business
Oh, yeah.
until you run a business.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people think that I'm going to become a business owner and I'm immediately going to go ahead
Easy.
and I'm going, but they don't realize everything that it encompasses, from employees and, working with the employees, the personal traits of the employees, to payroll, to the specific laws that need to be followed,
Correct.
the vetting of the employees. When I used to run a fine men's barbershop salon and spa in Coral Gables, I would have the barbers. The barbers also have to be certified.
Sure.
Okay.
And we would have a tremendous amount of them come in that did not have the proper license.
Right.
They were just here for a few months from another country, and they wanted to. And you can see they're hard workers,
And the skills.
and they're
Sure.
skilled, very skilled, hard workers, but you don't
They have that
qualify.
barrier that
Exactly.
prevents them. Sure.
And I guess you see that all the
Sure,
time.
we
too.
run into that. We have unfortunately had to let go of some employees because their migratory status is lapsed or has not been renewed or is now being unable to be renewed. So unfortunately, we've had to create vacancies because of these things. And I know that our elected officials, and I know that the South Florida delegation is working diligently on that to maybe find a solution where we can accommodate the goals of migratory reform and control with some of the need that we have for employees and some of the flexibility that is needed to weed out the bad and maintain the good.
I agree. I agree, because they're not all bad, and everyone needs a job somewhere.
Exactly.
Now, I met both of you several months ago. Maybe it must be about a year ago now.
Oh, so
Most likely.
About a year ago now, and I met both of you at a South Florida Hispanic Chamber event. We met, we spoke for a few minutes. You had a young lady at that time that was assisting you in trying to promote your
Correct.
organization
Correct.
and improve your sales. And we've never stopped talking ever since. So you're now also a member of ChamberSouth,
correct.
and you're a member of that organization, South Florida Hispanic. Why do you feel it's important to get involved in the community for PSM?
I think everyone that has a business has a responsibility to give back to the community. It's the community that supports us. It's our job and our duty to support the community back. I think that our membership in the ChamberSouth and in the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and in the associations, other associations that we belong to, are an integral part of us being able to give back and to support the activities of other businesses and the communities that come together. I know that there's a lot of Zoom and Skype and conference calls and whatever, but we still like to go out and meet people in person
Face to
and
face,
actually be
yeah.
there and get them to ask us questions and get them to know our company, get them to know us as the individuals. I think it's a more comforting, and I think that to some degree we're getting back to that. We're all getting back to our offices, and we're all getting back to the interaction. And I think that's a great dynamic for businesses. I think that's going to get a lot of things moving and rolling. And it's a duty. I mean, we do pro bono work, or we've done pro bono work for Ronald McDonald House. We try to support other charities when we can as well.
It's fantastic.
It's our way of giving back to the community that gives to us.
Doesn't it feel good to give back to the community?
Of course,
It feels
It does.
fantastic
It does.
when you can
Correct.
to give back to the community,
Absolutely.
because you can't always, but it feels fantastic when you can. Now, a lot of people think that when you join an organization or you join a chamber, that all of a sudden all these members are going to become your
clients.
your clients all of
No,
a
it
sudden
doesn't.
because they're going to come to your store and buy your things, or they're going to go to you and say, "Clean my building."
Exactly.
So
And well, they should, but that's not the reality. You know, um, I think that one of the functions of the chamber is to promote
Or connect people.
members
Yeah.
to do business with chamber members. I think that's a very important part, and I think that's, you know, realistically, that's what a lot of people join the chamber. But we see it more as a human connection
The human
and as
touch.
a community connection. I know that Anna and I try to go to as many events as we possibly can, and I know that we sponsor a lot of events
Right.
when we can as well, and have some of our clients participate in those events as well, so they can get exposure, so that they can interact with other people in the community. So I think it's a combination of both, Rick. I think it's a combination of chamber members knowing who other chamber members are, and I think that builds a bridge and a camaraderie where everyone should support each other's business. But I also think it gives us the opportunity to bring our clients and other people into the chamber to see what else is out there, and to give other people exposure and give our clients other exposure.
exactly. You know, one of the things, the main thing that I tell a lot of the chamber members is, they've got to know when you go out there and you meet people, they begin to put the name to the face.
Right.
The name to the face.
Correct.
And what you start doing is you start building a relationship.
That's correct.
And that relationship builds trust. And that trust builds business.
Correct.
Sure.
Now you all are also being utilized by ChamberSouth. You do,
Yes.
and you clean our buildings now.
we do.
Because I had a firm that wanted to clean our location, but they were located in Fort Lauderdale. They're not a member. And one of the things that I try to do, like you said earlier, Bill, is try to give business to chamber members.
Sure.
If you're not a chamber member, it's not that I'm not going to give you the business, but I prefer to give business to the chamber member. And I encourage chamber members to do business with members. But tell me, why should we have a clean building? Is it important to have a clean building? Is it important to have clean office?
Absolutely.
It is more
Absolutely.
important
I
than
think that
people think, right?
Yeah, I mean, study after study after study has shown that there's a direct correlation between absenteeism, presenteeism, that is people coming to work sick because they don't want to be viewed as absentees, they don't want to be viewed as not cooperating, they don't want to be viewed as non-productive. So those two things alone cost billions of dollars to industries yearly. Then it also affects other employees. We touch probably our faces about 512 times a day, and we touch surfaces many thousands of times a day. So imagine what we're constantly exposing ourselves to, and by that we expose other people around us to the same thing. It has been proven time and time again that a clean workplace promotes productivity, reduces absenteeism, increases profits, reduces losses by that effect, and makes it more pleasant for the employees and the visitors to go in. I know that restrooms are probably a big area. Break rooms are usually a big
High
area.
touch areas.
High touch areas, your doorknobs, your light switches, a lot of different places that people touch. And we saw a lot of this during COVID, but it doesn't stop. The flu and colds and COVID and a lot of things continue to do and promote the same absenteeism due to just you don't feel well, and you should stay home if you don't feel well.
Exactly.
So a lot of companies don't realize. That for every dollar that you're spending in maintaining your facility and your physical plant, you're probably saving $4 down the line. These are all studies that we've had an ability to look at, and from the organizations that we belong to. We belong to ISSA, which is an International Cleaning and Sanitary Association, to BSCAI, which is a Building Service Contractor Association. We belong to Clean Management Institute. So these are all places that do these studies and provide us with new ways to do things, better ways to do things, equipment, supplies, and materials. I think that one of the things that we've tried to do is make sure that we standardize our cleaning chemicals. So everything's biodegradable, everything's a green product, nothing's going to harm the environment or people, and it's standardized. And they're all medical grade, so they actually eliminate the bacteria and the viruses that it touches with different cleaning times, of course. So in doing that, we're offering an ability for our clients to make sure that they're also compliant with some of the requirements that they have. Everything's got to have a safety data sheet because it's important. So compliance is one of the key steps that we provide our commercial clients so that they don't have to worry about any OSHA inspector or any OSHA violations.
See, that's interesting.
Everything is labeled properly, everything is handled properly.
Correct.
It's an added value that a lot of companies and a lot of places don't realize. I went into a place with one of our clients, and they had just had a $10,000 violation from OSHA
Oh, my Lord.
because they had a cleaning agent in an unlabeled bottle.
Unbelievable. That's amazing.
Your first offense
See, I
is
didn't know that.
$10,000.
I'm gonna add one more to that the business owners don't see. Me as a client, if your location is not clean, I'm not gonna return.
Right.
I'm not gonna return, especially the restaurants.
Correct.
Sure.
I'm not gonna return. You know, it's so important to be able to see a nice, safe, clean location, and that you take pride in your location, and your customers see that.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
I really want to thank both of you
No,
for
we
being
thank
here
you.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of South,
Of course.
because it's important to us to try to help businesses like yours, and for you to help us in return to grow.
Sure.
Well, on 3, we're going to look at that camera over there and tell everybody goodbye. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye now.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.